So let's say that somebody got, charged with possession of a controlled substance, some drug that's illegal. And let's say that it's their first offense and they enter a plea agreement admitting guilt to possession of this, and the prosecutor and the client agree to an agreement. Probation. All right, you're going to be on probation for 3 years. If you complete probation, you'll be off probation, and we'll reduce the felony to a misdemeanor. And let's say that, there's going to be conditions of probation. You got to remain, you can't be using drugs. You got to remain law abiding, things like that. Check in with probation, things like that. And let's say that you violate one of those terms of probation. Well, then the prosecutor's office can file what's called a petition to revoke your probation, which means, hey, you messed up. We don't want you to have probation anymore. And we're filing this motion to have your probation taken away. And the judge is going to have to decide whether he or she's going to do that. And if they decide to do that, then you're going to end up getting a prison sentence, because basically probation is suspension of sentence. That's what probation basically is. It's like if the potential sentence for the crime that you admitted guilt to was, let's just say, 2 years in prison on average. Well, if you violate probation and you mess that up, you could potentially go to prison for that amount of time.
Yeah. Because
probation is a suspension of that sentence. And if you complete it, great, you never have to go to prison. But if you violate probation, you might have to go to prison. So in that scenario, let's say that somebody's probation had been violated. They had did something. Let's say that they tested positive on a drug test, because drug testing is going to be an obvious condition of probation, always testing negative on your drug tests. And they get caught. They go to the probation office, test positive. I swear I didn't know. And I don't know why I'm positive. The prosecutor's not going to believe it. They file a petition. Now you're in court.
Meaning you're in court too.
Yes. Yeah. I'm in court with my client representing that person in the petition to revoke probation. In the case, part of the case where the prosecutor is now saying, hey, this person shouldn't be on probation. They're still using drugs. All right. And let's say that there's some valid reason, like they took a prescription medication that had, maybe it was oxycodone or something like that. You know what I mean? It's a form of, I can't remember what the term is, but let's say that it tests positive for whatever. And so that would be I wasn't using heroin. I was taking this oxy that's prescribed to me. So I'm not in possession of it illegally. And,
so you're helping them defend that case.
I would, I would be helping them advocate, hey, judge, the prosecutor would be saying, look, this is a bunch of garbage. Yeah. They've been using heroin this whole time. And then, me through my client, he's providing me with prescription and things like that.
So you're presenting evidence.
Judge, hey, he had a prescription for this. And it just ended up that this ended up testing positive. And we might need an expert to say, yeah, this can test positive for, for whatever this test, tests positive for. And then they would be, if the judge believed that, then they would be placed back on probation. I haven't had that exact scenario happen, but I've had similar situations where somebody got into a situation and it was like, oh man, I really messed up. And this wasn't,
it wasn't like they were doing something bad.
It's not what it looks like. It was what it really looks like, because 90% of the other cases are they are what it looks like.